Hi, everyone. I'm Reverend Nick Bullitt, the engagement catalyst here at One Spirit, and I'm excited to be talking about this upcoming workshop, Dreams as Portals to the Sacred. If you could both introduce yourselves, that would be great.
Okay, so my name is Reverend Dr. Sushmita Mukherjee. I'm a graduate of One Spirit Seminary 2017 and a graduate of Interspiritual Counseling Program, also from One Spirit 2020.
And hi, I'm Reverend Darby Christopher. I had the pleasure of being in Sushmita's class at seminary, at One Spirit Interfaith Seminary, and also graduated with her in 2017.
Oh, great. So if you can both just start out, share a little bit about your professional and spiritual background.
Yes, so I have a master's degree in social work, but really my primary vocation has been the world of dream work. I also raised two kids, and those two things kind of went together for me for a long time. But I'm also a graduate of the Hayden Institute's Dream Group Leadership Training Program. I graduated from that program in 2006. I started a dream group with a friend at my Episcopal church probably about 20 years ago. It ran for 15 years. I also give lead workshops on dream work at the Hayden Institute and at a conference called the Natural Spirituality Conference. I also worked as a social worker in foster care briefly. I worked part-time as a psychotherapist from 2008 to 2012. And then I've spent actually the last 2 years writing a book that's just came out.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's called From Anxiety to Connection, A Path to Authentic Relating. It has a chapter on dream work in it as well. As far as my spiritual background goes, really, in a sense, I feel like all of us have the same spiritual background because we're all children of the earth, and this is our spiritual home. But if I had to be more specific about my spiritual background, I'd probably talk about my spiritual practices, which come out of the Christian church. I was raised Southern Baptist. As an adult, I spent time in the Episcopal church, and I consider myself, I've really just grown out of that whole like progressive Christian world in terms of, I walk a labyrinth, I journal, I read progressive Christian authors.
As a professional, I am a scientist. I work at the Cornell Medical School, and I run a microscopy and image analysis core facility. In my day-to-day job, a lot of the time is spent in looking at images, analyzing images, mining data from images, and really understanding what is this image trying to tell us? What is the story? Equally importantly, I'm very involved in images as they show up in the psyche. I started Jungian psychoanalytic training, which I only stayed for a year. So I did the basic training every month where we would really deeply go into dream. I'm also facilitator of soul collage, a certified facilitator of soul collage, which again involves working with images. For me, really, this dream world is a world of deeply engaging with images, their symbols, the rich story that lies behind these images. In some ways, my entire life, including my spiritual practice, circumambulates images. So I do a lot of creative work with people, whether it's soul collage, building altars, shamanic journeying. And my spirituality is definitely informed by earth-based and indigenous traditions. And anything that has to do with the goddess, the resurgence of the feminine wisdom, and Jungian psychology.
Okay. And so what inspired the two of you to work together to come up with this offering for our community?
It is really interesting how this started. I had a dream, and in the dream, Darby was there, and we were going to offer a workshop at One Spirit. And so I called her, and I was like, Darby, you were in my dream, and let me tell you what happened. So we started from there, and we said, okay, why don't we actually do a workshop?
And it turns out that you both have this extensive background in dreams. Okay, so walk me through what our participants are going to experience at this workshop.
Sushmita and I both decided together that we would like to weave our teaching into our storytelling, telling some of our own personal history with dreams and story around dreams while we teach some kind of basic aspects of listening to dreams, like how they speak a symbolic language, a time where we can, just a brief time to let people share a little bit about what dreams have meant to them.
We will invite one, maybe two volunteers to share either a whole dream if it's a short dream, or maybe a fragment of a dream. And I will work with them as kind of a fishbowl to circumambulate their dreams. So what are these symbols? What do they mean for them? What associations do they have? And we see where it takes us. Learn how to work with somebody's dreams.
I have had a lot of experience leading dream groups, and it's called, and something that we call the projective dream group model. And I will explain that. And then we will do it, because the best way to learn really is by doing. So we're going to have a dream group, and then we have a type of sacred service where the dream will serve as the liturgy.
And so in the description for the workshop, you mentioned goddesses coming into the dreams, the psyche and the soul. Can you share a little bit more about that?
So the word god and goddess, when used in a Jungian way, it's not quite the same as it's used in theology. It's more about personalization of inner drives and instincts and energies.
After having experienced your workshop, full day workshop, what do you want them to take away aside from your objective?
I would say the main thing for me would be an excitement about dreams, but really maybe even more than that, a sense of wonder that we have this built-in mechanism that's it's a part of my own body. I'm going to go to bed and dream tonight. And that my dreams are going to be speaking to me about my life. They're going to be speaking to me about the wider world. If I'm able to tap in and listen, then my life is going to take on more energy and wonder. There's something in my psyche that can jumpstart things again. I also want people to know they'll come away with different kinds of tools to work with dreams, some just personally to work with their own dreams, some how to work with dreams in groups, or how to work with dreams one-on-one. And of course, it's just one day, so we won't be able to elaborate a lot on all of those, but at least you come away with some tools they'll be able to use in their work or just personally with their own dream.
Dreams can give us an access to what the Quakers, for example, call the inner teacher, or the Taoists call the inner sage, that we have this wisdom that lives in us. And working with dreams gives us a really good tool to understand where our psyche is. When we're awake, when we're doing our daily things, it's ego that's in control. And all those things that are sort of underneath in the unconscious kind of are pressed down. Mm-hmm. But when at night, when ego has kind of at least relaxed some, these energies can come up and really communicate with us. And it's up to us really to mine that information, because otherwise it almost feels like a waste. Like, here is this inner teacher trying to tell us. It can bring one so much joy. I hope one of the things that this workshop will do is kind of disabuse people of this pop psychology ideas of this image always means this in a dream. One sees that, like there's these dream dictionaries and things like that. It's really our psyche talking to us. So we would like to really invite people to play with these images and see where it takes them, instead of going to a DreamWork 101 and scorpion means this and a tree means that. I feel like you lose what's alive in the image by doing that.
Exactly. It's so personal, like a prayer.
It is like a prayer.
Mm-hmm. I think we want to go ahead and invite people now to start focusing on their dreams. If you think you might be interested in attending this workshop, to place a pad of paper and a pen beside your bed at night, ask for a dream. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence that shows that the psyche gives us what we ask for. And if we ask for a dream, a lot of times we will remember them, even if we're not used to remembering our dreams. To go ahead, start writing them down. Pay attention to what the unconscious is saying to you at night.
You may not be a paper and pen person. I am not. I record things on my phone. So see what works for you. A lot of people will tell me that they don't dream. We all dream. We may not always remember. And one way to kind of prime the pump, if you will, is if you wake up in the morning and you don't remember a dream, if you even remember a sensation, like I woke up feeling tense or I woke up feeling knot in my stomach, write that down. Because once psyche knows that you're paying attention, psyche is going to communicate more. In some ways, it's the most personalized message we ever get.